Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English Lab. My name is Jenny, and today we are starting something very special together. This lesson is for everyone who is learning English at the A2 level, and for anyone who wants to understand step by step how to learn faster, how to practice listening in a smart way, and how to feel more confident when you hear English around you. I know that sometimes listening can feel like the hardest skill. Reading gives you time, writing lets you stop and think, speaking allows you to use your own pace. But listening feels like everything is flying quickly, and you must catch every word, and if you miss one, you feel lost. Don't worry. That is normal. And that is exactly why we are here today, together, to build not just listening skills, but also a complete system for learning English quickly and clearly. Imagine you are watching a movie in English. The characters are speaking, the music is playing, things are happening fast. If you cannot catch everything, you might think, "Oh, my English is bad." But the truth is, listening is not about catching every single word. Listening is about understanding the main idea, the feeling, the message. Just like in your own language, if you hear someone speak quickly, you don't catch every sound, but you still know the meaning. So today, I want you to relax your shoulders, breathe deeply, and tell yourself, I can learn, I can listen, and I will improve step by step. When you practice with me, do not just sit quietly. I want you to follow my voice, repeat when I ask you, pause the video when you need, and imagine that we are in the same classroom. I am talking to you, and you're answering me. That's how this lesson will work. Let's start simple. Listen carefully. Hello, how are you today? That's a very basic question. But now I want you to listen again and repeat after me. Ready? Hello, how are you today? Very good. You see, even a small sentence has rhythm, stress, and intonation. When you listen, don't only think about meaning. Think about the music of the language. English has a rhythm like a song. Some words are stressed, some are weak. That music helps your brain to understand. Now, think about daily life. You are in a shop. The shopkeeper says, "Do you need a bag?" If you miss the word bag, you might feel confused. But if you listen for the important words you hear, "Do you need bag?" your brain can guess the missing part. That is called listening for gist or listening for the main idea. Today, and in all the parts of the series, we will practice the skill again and again. Another important thing, don't be afraid of repetition. Children learn their first language because they hear the same words thousands of times. If you hear "thank you" 100 times, one day you don't need to translate anymore. Your brain just knows. That is how we will train your listening today. Let me give you a short listening exercise. I will say 3 sentences. I want you to listen, and then I will ask you a simple question. Ready? Here we go. I wake up at 7. I brush my teeth. I eat breakfast. Now my question, what time do I wake up? Yes, I wake up at 7. You see? You only needed to catch one detail to answer. That is practice. Another set. Listen carefully. She likes coffee. She doesn't like tea. She drinks coffee every morning. Question. Does she like tea? No, she doesn't. You got it. That is how we build confidence. Little by little, you feel successful, and then your ear becomes sharper. Now, let me talk to you about how to build your own practice routine. Every day, even if you are busy, you can listen for 10 or 15 minutes. It doesn't need to be long. The secret is regularity. For example, listen to a short podcast, a children's story, a YouTube video, or even a song. Don't worry if you don't understand everything. Your job is not to translate. Your job is to let your ears enjoy the sound. Do this every day, and your listening will grow. Also, when you listen, don't sit like a passive stone. Be active. Write down 2 or 3 words you hear. Repeat them aloud. Pause the audio, copy the sentence, and say yourself. That active practice changes everything. Listening is not passive. Listening is training. Think about sport. If you want strong muscles, you go to the gym, you lift weight again and again. At first it feels heavy, then it becomes easier. Listening is the same. At first your brain says, too fast, too hard. But after practice, your brain says, I know this sound, I know this rhythm. That is how you grow. All right, let's do a longer listening exercise. I will tell you a short story slowly. You listen. After that, I will ask you some questions. Here is the story. Yesterday, I went to the park. The sun was shining. Children were playing football. A family was having a picnic. I sat on a bench and read a book. After 1 hour, I went home. Now, question 1. Where did I go yesterday? Yes, I went to the park. Question 2. What were the children doing? They were playing football. Question 3. What did I do on the bench? I read a book. Question 4. How long did I stay? 1 hour. And question 5. What did I do after the park? I went home. You see? You understood a story. That is success. Every time you listen to a story, your brain is collecting patterns. Words like yesterday, went, played, read, these are past tense forms. You don't need grammar books at this moment. You only need to notice the patterns while listening. That is natural learning. And here is another tip. Use subtitles when you watch something in English. First, listen with subtitles in English. Then, watch again without subtitles. That training connects sound to writing, and slowly, you can listen without reading. Now, let's relax for a moment. Listening is not just hard work. It can be fun. If you like music, choose a simple English song, one that repeats. Listen many times. Sing along. That is powerful. If you like movies, choose one easy movie. Watch one scene many times. You will notice new things each time. Learning is not punishment. It can be joy. Okay, before we close this part, let's practice one more dialogue. I will play both roles. Listen carefully. A. Good morning. Can I help you? B. Yes, I want a cup of coffee, please. A. Sure. Do you want milk or sugar? B. Milk, please. No sugar. A. Here you are. B. Thank you. A. You're welcome. Now I will ask you, what did the customer want? A cup of coffee. Did the customer want sugar? No, only milk. Perfect. This is how you train real-life listening. So, in this first part, we talked about the attitude of listening, how to relax, how to listen for gist, how to repeat and practice actively, and how to use short exercises to build confidence. Remember, your ears are like muscles. Train them every day, gently but regularly, and soon you'll feel stronger. I want to take you further into the world of real English, the way people really speak, because you know very well that the English you hear in a classroom, slow and clear, is not always the English you hear on the street, in a shop, at work, or on television. People speak quickly, they connect words, they use reductions, and that is what we call connected speech. If you only study words in isolation, like going to, want to, let me, you will be shocked when you hear someone say gonna, wanna, or lemme. But don't worry, we will practice that together now. Let's start simple. The phrase going to in real speech often sounds like gonna. For example, the sentence I'm going to eat lunch usually becomes I'm gonna eat lunch. Listen to me say it slowly. I am going to eat lunch. Now listen again, natural speed. I'm gonna eat lunch. Can you hear the difference?
Good.
Now repeat after me. I'm gonna eat lunch.
Perfect.
If you train your ear to recognize these common reductions, you will not feel lost when native speakers use them. Another example is want to. In careful speech, we say, I want to go home. But in daily life, people say, I want to go home. Listen, I want to go home. Now natural. I want to go home. Repeat after me. I want to go home. Well done. One more. Let me. In textbooks you read, let me help you. But in fast speech, people say, let me help you. Listen, let me help you. Now fast. Let me help you. Repeat. Let me help you. Excellent. These small details make a big difference. They're like keys that open doors. Now, let's do a listening activity with these reductions. I will say 3 sentences quickly, and you try to catch the meaning. Ready? Number 1. I'm gonna watch a movie tonight. Number 2. Do you want to come with me? Number 3. Let me check my phone. Okay, question 1. What will I do tonight? Yes, I'm gonna watch a movie. Question 2. What did I ask you?
Do you want to come with me?
Question 3. What did I say about my phone? Let me check my phone.
Great job.
You are learning to hear real English. Now, let's talk about another feature, linking. In English, words often connect together. For example, turn off sounds like turn off. Pick it up sounds like pick it up. Listen, can you pick it up? Did you hear the connection? Try to repeat. Can you pick it up? Excellent. Here is a short dialogue with linking. Listen, what are you doing? I'm reading a book. Can I look at it? Sure, take it. Did you hear how the words join together, like look at it, take it? That is linking. The more you listen, the easier it becomes. Now let's practice with a longer listening passage. I will read it at a natural speed, but don't panic. Your job is to catch the main idea, not every word. Here is the passage. Last weekend, I went shopping with my friend. We wanted to buy new shoes. The shop was very crowded, so we waited for a long time. Finally, we found 2 pairs of shoes that we liked. My friend bought black shoes, and I bought white ones. After shopping, we were tired, so we sat in a cafe and drank coffee. We talked for 2 hours about school, work, and future plans. Now, let me ask some questions. Question 1. Where did we go last weekend? Yes, shopping. Question 2. What did we want to buy? Shoes. Question 3. What color shoes did my friend buy? Black. Question 4. What did I buy? White shoes. Question 5. Where did we go after shopping? To a cafe. Question 6. How long did we talk? 2 hours. Wonderful. Even though I spoke at a natural speed, you could still catch the important details. That is progress. Now, how do you train your listening for natural speed outside of this video? I will tell you a trick. Choose a short audio, maybe 30 seconds or 1 minute. First, listen once without subtitles or text.
Try to catch the topic.
Second, listen again with subtitles or transcript if available and notice the words you missed. Third, listen again without looking and see if you catch more. This 3-step method is powerful. It trains your ear, your eyes, and your memory together. Another important thing for A2 learners is building vocabulary through listening. If you only study lists of words, they disappear quickly. But if you meet words inside stories, conversations, songs, they stay. Let's try this together. Listen to these sentences. The dog is barking loudly. The children are laughing happily. The phone is ringing again. What are the new action words here? Barking, laughing, ringing. Now imagine them. The dog, woof woof, barking. Children, ha ha ha, laughing. Phone, trang trang, ringing. When you imagine sound or picture, the word becomes stronger in your brain. That is how listening and vocabulary connect. Okay, let's do another mini story exercise. Listen carefully. Maria is from Spain. She is learning English because she wants to travel. Every day, she listens to podcasts on her phone. She also watches English movies with subtitles. Sometimes, she practices with her friend online. She knows that listening is difficult, but she is patient, and she is improving step by step. Now my questions. Where is Maria from?
Spain.
Why is she learning English? Because she wants to travel. What does she listen to every day?
Podcasts.
What does she watch? Movies with subtitles. Who does she practice with? Her friend online. Is she patient? Yes, she is. Wonderful. This little story is not just practice. It is also advice for you. Maria is an example for all of us. Let me share something important. Listening is not only about language, it is also about culture. When you hear English, you are not just hearing sounds, you are hearing how people live, how they think, what they value. For example, when someone says, "How's it going?" they are not really asking about your life story. It is just a friendly hello. If you try to answer with too much detail, it feels strange. So, when you listen, also notice the cultural meaning. Now, let's try a role play. Imagine you are meeting me for the first time. I say, "Hi, how's it going?" You can answer, "Good, thanks." And you. That's all. Simple, natural. Practice that rhythm. Ready? Hi, how's it going? You answer, "Good, thanks." And you?
Perfect.
This is listening and responding together. All right, let's challenge your ear a little more. I will read a short weather report at natural speed. Just try to catch the main points. Ready? Today in London, the weather will be cloudy in the morning with light rain in some areas. In the afternoon, the sun will come out and the temperature will rise to 18 degrees. Tomorrow will be warmer, with clear skies and a high of 22. Okay, question 1. What will the weather be like in the morning? Cloudy with light rain. Question 2. What will happen in the afternoon? The sun will come out. Temperature will rise. Question 3. What will tomorrow's weather be like? Warmer, clear skies, 22 degrees.
You see?
Even if you missed some little words, you got the main information. This is how real life works. You don't need every word. You need the message. The more you practice, the less stressed you feel. Listening becomes natural, like background music you can understand. Now, let's close part 2 with one last exercise. I will give you 3 short dialogues. Listen and then answer my questions. Dialogue 1. A. Excuse me, what time is it? B. It's 3:30. Question. What time is it? 3:30. Dialogue 2. A. Can I have the menu, please? B. Sure, here you are. Question. What did the person ask for? The menu. Dialogue 3. A. Where is the nearest bus stop? B. Go straight and turn left. Question. How do you get to the bus stop? Go straight and turn left.
Perfect.
You're doing great. Now we're going to work with some powerful techniques that language learners around the world use when they want to improve quickly. These are strategies you can use at home without a teacher, without special equipment, just you, your ears, and a little patience. The first technique is called shadowing. Shadowing means you listen to someone speaking and you try to copy them immediately, like their shadow. Imagine walking behind someone and copying every move they make. When they raise their hand, you raise yours. Shadowing works the same way with sound. For example, if I say, I'm happy to be here, you don't wait 10 seconds to repeat. You try to speak almost at the same time as me. I'm happy to be here. It feels difficult at first because your mouth and ears are racing together, but this is exactly what makes shadowing so powerful. It pushes your brain to listen faster and speak faster at the same time. Let's try it together. I will read a short text slowly, and I want you to shadow me. Don't worry about mistakes. Just keep the rhythm. Ready? Listen and copy. Learning English is fun. Again, learning English is fun. Next, I listen, I repeat, I improve. One more. Every day I get better. How does that feel? Strange, maybe, but effective. The more you do it, the more natural it becomes. Shadowing works best with short, simple sentences. Choose a podcast, a story, or even these lessons and try to shadow. At first, you'll miss some words, but slowly your brain will catch up. And the bonus is your pronunciation improves without extra study because you're copying real speech directly. The second technique I want to share is repetition listening. This means you listen to the same audio many times, not just once. Many learners make the mistake of thinking they need new material every day. But your brain grows stronger when you repeat. Imagine listening to a 1-minute story every day for 1 week. At first, you understand maybe 30%. On the second day, 50%. By the 4th day, almost everything. And then you don't just understand, you own it. You can repeat it, use the words, and remember them forever. Let's try this with a mini story now. Listen carefully. I will read it 3 times. First time. Tom wakes up early. He goes for a run. After running, he eats breakfast and drinks orange juice. Then he takes a shower and goes to work. That was the first listen. Now, second time. Tom wakes up early. He goes for a run. After running, he eats breakfast and drinks orange juice. Then he takes a shower and goes to work. Now, third time, a little faster. Tom wakes up early. He goes for a run. After running, he eats breakfast and drinks orange juice. Then he takes a shower and goes to work. Now, can you tell me, What does Tom drink? Orange juice. What does he do after eating breakfast? He takes a shower. You see? With repetition, it feels easier. Now, let's make it fun. Try to close your eyes and imagine Tom's morning. You see him waking up, running outside, eating, drinking, showering, going to work. That picture in your head makes the words stronger. Listening is not only about ears, it's about imagination. The third technique is listening with emotion. What do I mean? When you listen with interest, with feeling, your memory is stronger. Think about songs. Why do you remember song lyrics after years? Because they carry emotion. So, when you listen to English, choose topics you care about. If you like football, listen to football podcasts. If you like cooking, listen to recipes. If you like travel, listen to travel stories. Don't torture yourself with boring material. Interest is the best teacher. Now I will tell you a short story with a little emotion. Listen carefully. Last night, I missed the last bus. It was raining, and I had no umbrella. I felt cold and wet. Then a stranger stopped his car and offered me a ride. He was very kind. I got home safely, and I felt so grateful. Now, how did I feel when I missed the bus?
Cold and wet. Who helped me?
A stranger.
How did I feel at the end?
Grateful. You see, the story carries feeling, and that makes it easier to remember. The fourth technique is creating your own English environment. You may not live in an English-speaking country, but you can build a world of English around you. Put your phone in English. Change your social media to English. Watch YouTube in English. Play games in English. Even put sticky notes in your house. On the fridge, write fridge. On the mirror, write mirror. Every time you see or hear English, you train your brain. The more English around you, the faster you learn. Here is a challenge. Try to spend just 30 minutes a day in full English mode. No translation, no switching to your first language. Only English. Maybe watch a short video, listen to a podcast, read a page, speak to yourself, write a note. 30 minutes of full immersion every day is like living in a small English bubble. Let's test this immersion with a role play. Imagine you are in a restaurant in London. I will be the waiter, you will be the customer. Ready? Waiter. Good evening. Are you ready to order? You. Yes, I'd like some chicken, please. Waiter. Would you like rice or potatoes with that? You. Rice, please. Waiter. And to drink. You. A glass of water. Waiter. Perfect, thank you. That is immersion practice. You imagine the scene, you listen, and you answer. Even alone, you can do this. Talk to the mirror, answer your own questions. It may feel funny, but it's powerful. Another point. Don't forget to celebrate your progress. Learning a language is not a one-week project, it's a journey. Sometimes you feel slow, sometimes fast, but every day you are moving forward. If today you understood one more word than yesterday, that is progress. Smile, celebrate, and keep going. Before we finish this part, let's do a longer listening passage with natural speed so you can test your skills. Listen carefully. 2 years ago, Sarah decided to learn English. At first, she was shy and nervous. She could only say simple sentences like, "My name is Sarah, I am from Germany, and I like music." But she practiced every day. She listened to English songs, watched English movies, and repeated sentences again and again. Slowly, she improved. Now, she can talk with friends online. She can order food in English when she travels, and she can understand movies without subtitles. Sarah knows she is not perfect, but she is confident. She believes that with practice, she will become fluent. Now, my questions. Where is Sarah from? Germany. What sentences could she say at the beginning? My name is Sarah. I am from Germany. I like music. What activities did she use to practice? Songs, movies, repeating sentences. What can she do now? Talk with friends, order food, understand movies. How does she feel now? Confident. Do you see the message? Practice, patience, confidence. We're going to take listening out of the classroom and put it directly into real life. Because at the end of the day, what's the point of learning English if you can't use it when you travel, when you work, or when you meet people? So today we'll practice exactly those kinds of situations, step by step, story by story, conversation by conversation, so that when life gives you the chance, your ears and your tongue are ready. Let's start with travel, because that's often the first reason people want to use English. Imagine you arrive at an airport in another country. You're a little tired, you're carrying your bags, and suddenly someone at the information desk asks you, "Can I help you?" The words are simple, but if you're nervous, they can fly past you. So, let's practice a travel story together. Listen carefully. Last summer, I traveled to London. At the airport, I asked for directions to the train station. The officer said, "Go straight, turn right, and you'll see the signs for the train." I followed the directions and found the train easily. On the train, I asked another passenger, "Does this train stop at Victoria Station?" He said, "Yes, it does." After 30 minutes, I arrived at my station safely. Now some questions for you. Where did I travel? London. What did I ask for at the airport? Directions to the train station. What directions did I get? Go straight, turn right, and look for the signs. Who did I talk to on the train? Another passenger. Where did I want to go? Victoria Station. Excellent. That's a very typical real-life scenario. You hear directions, you hear short answers, and you need to catch just the main words. Let's build a small role play for practice. I'll be the officer at the airport, and you be the traveler. Ready? Officer. Hello, can I help you? You. Yes, where is the train station? Officer. Go straight, turn right, and follow the signs. You. Thank you very much. Officer. You're welcome. You see? That's simple, but if you practice it now, later it will feel easy. Now let's move to daily life, like shopping. Here's a listening passage. Yesterday, Anna went to the supermarket. She needed bread, milk, and eggs. She also wanted to buy some fruit. She asked the shop assistant, "Excuse me, where is the fruit section?" The assistant said, "It's over there, next to the vegetables." Anna bought apples, bananas, and oranges. At the checkout, the cashier asked, "Do you need a bag?" Anna said, "Yes, please." She paid and went home. Questions. What 3 basic things did Anna need? Bread, milk, eggs. What extra did she want? Fruit. What did she ask the shop assistant? Where is the fruit section? What fruit did she buy? Apples, bananas, oranges. What did the cashier ask? Do you need a bag? Perfect. Now imagine yourself in that supermarket. Let's role play again. Shop assistant. Can I help you? You. Yes. Where's the fruit section? Shop assistant. It's next to the vegetables. You. Thank you. That's it. Short, simple, but useful. Work situations are another important area. Even at A2 level, you might need to listen at work. Let's practice a work story. Listen. In my office, we have a meeting every Monday morning. The manager says, "Good morning, everyone. Let's start." We talk about last week's work and this week's plan. Sometimes the manager asks me, "Can you finish this task by Friday?" I usually answer, "Yes, I can." At the end, the manager says, "Thank you. Have a good week." Questions. When is the meeting? Every Monday morning. What does the manager say at the beginning? "Good morning, everyone. Let's start." What does the manager ask me sometimes? "Can you finish this task by Friday?" What do I usually answer? "Yes, I can." What does the manager say at the end? "Thank you. Have a good week." You see, work conversations are also short and clear.
Here's a role play.
Manager. Can you finish this by Friday? You. Yes, I can. Manager. Great, thank you. Easy. Now, let's add some variety. I want you to listen to 3 different mini dialogues and then tell me the context. Dialogue 1. A. Good morning, can I see your ticket? B. Yes, here it is. What is the context? At the train station or on a bus? Dialogue 2. A. How much is this shirt? B. It's $20. What is the context? Shopping for clothes. Dialogue 3. A. Can I take your order? B. Yes, I'll have pizza, please. What is the context? In a restaurant.
Perfect.
Listening is not just words. It's situation, place, and purpose. Now, let's stretch ourselves with a longer story. Listen carefully. 2 friends, Mark and Lisa, planned a trip to Paris. They booked tickets online and flew from Berlin to Paris. At the airport in Paris, they looked for the taxi stand. Mark asked a driver, "How much is it to the city center?" The driver said, €30. Lisa said, "Okay, let's go." They reached their hotel, checked in, and went out to see the Eiffel Tower.
They were so excited.
They took many photos, ate croissants, and walked along the river. At night, they were tired but very happy. Questions. Where did they travel from? Berlin. Where did they go? Paris. How much was the taxi? €30. What did they see? The Eiffel Tower. What did they eat? Croissants. How did they feel at night? Tired but happy. Excellent. Here's the thing, real-life English is often just like that. Simple words, everyday situations, but fast and connected. If you train now with these short stories, when you face the real moment, you will feel prepared. Let's close this part with an imagination exercise. Close your eyes and imagine you are traveling tomorrow. You wake up, take a taxi to the airport, check in, show your passport, find your gate, sit in the airplane, listen to announcements, and finally arrive in another country. During this trip, you will hear many voices: officers, assistants, drivers, waiters, hotel staff. They will all speak English. You don't need to understand every single word. You only need to recognize the important ones: gate number, price, directions, time. Train your ear for these key words. That is survival English, and that is powerful. We are going to push ourselves a little more. Up until now, we've been working with short dialogues, short stories, and little role plays. That's perfect for building the foundation. But real life doesn't always give you short, simple sentences. Sometimes you have to sit through a 20-minute meeting, watch a full episode of a show, or listen to a friend tell a story that takes 10 minutes to finish. And here's the challenge. Your brain feels tired. At the 5-minute mark, you start to drift. At 10 minutes, you're gone. That's normal, and that's why we need to train listening stamina, just like an athlete trains for a long run. Think about running. If you only run 100 meters every day, you will be fast, but only for a short time. If you want to run 5 kilometers, you need to build stamina, slowly, consistently, adding distance every week. Listening is the same. You need to practice not just short bursts, but also longer stretches. So today we're going to practice how to stay focused, how to divide your attention, and how to keep going even when it feels long. Here's the first trick. Don't try to understand everything. If you sit in front of a 30-minute podcast and try to catch every single word, you'll be exhausted. Instead, give yourself small goals. For the first listen, just try to understand the topic. Ask yourself, what is this about? Is it about food, travel, history, sport? That's your first victory. On the second listen, focus on details. Numbers, names, times, places. On the third listen, focus on phrases you can repeat. This way, you divide the work and your brain doesn't feel overloaded. Let's practice with a medium-length passage. I will tell you a 3-minute story. Your job is not to understand every word, but to catch the big picture and some details. Ready? Last year, my family and I took a road trip across Italy. We started in Rome, where we visited the Colosseum and the Vatican. The weather was hot, and the streets were full of tourists. From Rome, we drove to Florence, a city famous for art and history. We spent 2 days visiting museums and enjoying delicious pasta. After Florence, we went to Venice. Venice was magical. Boats instead of cars, narrow streets, and beautiful old buildings. We rode in a gondola and watched the sunset over the water. Finally, we drove south to Naples, where we ate the best pizza of our lives. The trip lasted 2 weeks, and by the end, we were tired but so happy. Now, question 1. Which country did we visit? Italy. Question 2. Which cities did we see? Rome, Florence, Venice, Naples. Question 3. What did we eat in Florence? Pasta. What did we eat in Naples?
Pizza.
What was special about Venice? Boats instead of cars, gondola rides, sunset over water. How long did the trip last? 2 weeks.
Perfect.
You see, even in a longer story, you can still pull out the important points. That's the secret. Now, let's talk about focus. When you listen for more than a few minutes, your brain will try to wander. You start thinking about dinner, about your phone, about something else. How do you stay focused? One method is note-taking. When you listen, keep a pen and paper. Write down 3 words from every minute. Not full sentences, not translations, just key words. Rome, Colosseum, hot. Florence, museum, pasta. Venice, gondola, sunset. When you look back, you have the skeleton of the story. This keeps your brain active and awake. Let's try note-taking together. I'll read a short lecture-style passage. You write down only 3 words every time I pause. Ready? English is an international language. Pause. It is spoken in many countries around the world. Pause. People use English for business, travel, and study. Pause. Learning English helps you connect with others. Pause. It also opens opportunities for work and education. Pause. So your notes might be English, international countries, English, business, travel, English, study, connect, English, opportunities, work. That's it. Not full grammar, just words. Now, another trick for stamina is mixing listening with speaking. If you only listen for 30 minutes, you will get tired. But if you pause every 5 minutes to repeat something aloud, to answer a question, to shadow a sentence, your brain gets a rest and then refocuses. It's like running with short breaks. You don't stop, but you change the rhythm. That keeps you going. Here's an exercise. I will play the role of a podcast speaker talking about healthy living. You listen for 2 minutes, then I'll pause and ask you to repeat one sentence. Ready? Healthy living is not only about eating vegetables and exercising. It's also about sleeping well, reducing stress, and finding balance in your life. Many people focus only on diet, but sleep and relaxation are just as important. For example, if you sleep only 4 hours every night, no amount of vegetables will make you healthy. Your body needs rest to recover. Also, stress can damage your health. So it's important to take time every day to relax, to breathe, and to enjoy small things. Healthy living is a complete picture, not just one piece. Now repeat this sentence after me. Healthy living is a complete picture, not just one piece. Excellent. That little act of repeating makes you active again, ready to continue. Another way to build stamina is through variety. Don't only listen to one kind of material. Mix it up, short stories, songs, news, movies, podcasts. Your brain stays fresh when the style changes. If you get bored, change the type. Remember, boredom kills stamina faster than difficulty. Let's do one more long practice. This time, imagine you're in a university lecture. Listen carefully. Today, we're talking about the history of the Internet. The Internet began as a project in the 1960s, created by researchers in the United States. At first, it was only used by universities and the military. In the 1990s, the World Wide Web was developed, and suddenly people could create websites that anyone could see. This changed the world. Businesses started selling products online. People began sending emails instead of letters. Today, billions of people use the Internet every day. We use it for shopping, studying, entertainment, and social connection. The Internet has made life faster, but also more complicated. We must learn to use it wisely. Questions. When did the Internet begin? In the 1960s. Who used it first? Universities and the military. What happened in the 1990s? The World Wide Web. What do we use the Internet for today? Shopping, studying, entertainment, social connection. What is one challenge? Life is faster, but more complicated. Perfect. So, in this part, we train stamina, dividing listening into goals, note-taking, mixing listening with speaking, and using variety. Remember, listening is not a sprint. It's a marathon. Train your ears step by step, and soon you'll be able to listen for longer without feeling lost. If you followed from part 1 to now, you've already practiced listening in many forms: simple sentences, dialogues, real-life conversations, connected speech, shadowing, long passages, note-taking, and stamina training. That's a lot. And now, in this last part, I want to take all of those lessons and connect them to the bigger picture, because listening doesn't live alone. Listening works hand in hand with speaking, reading, and writing, and if you combine all of them with the right attitude, you will learn English more quickly than you think. So, let's finish strong with a full guideline for learning English quickly, clearly, and confidently. The first principle is balance. Many learners focus only on one skill. Some read all the time, but never listen. Some listen but never speak. Some study grammar but never practice. Balance is the key. Think of your English like a table with 4 legs: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. If one leg is too short, the table is unstable. If you want your English to stand strong, you must grow all 4 legs together. Listening is the foundation because input comes before output. You cannot speak what you've never heard. But speaking is equally important because it forces your brain to activate what you've learned. Reading builds vocabulary and structure, while writing makes you precise and thoughtful, so balance your practice. Here's a simple weekly plan you can try. Every day, spend 15 minutes listening, 10 minutes speaking, 10 minutes reading, and 10 minutes writing. That's 45 minutes total. Not too much, right? But if you do it daily, in 1 month you will have trained more than 20 hours. That's how small steps create big progress. Now, let's go deeper into each skill. Listening, you already know. You practice with stories, dialogues, podcasts, movies. You focus on gist, details, rhythm, and stamina. You use shadowing and repetition. You listen with interest. That is your daily vitamin. Speaking is the next step. After you listen, don't just close the book or video. Speak out loud. Repeat sentences. Summarize what you heard. Imagine you just listened to a story about a trip to Paris. Say out loud, "They traveled to Paris. They visited the Eiffel Tower. They ate croissants. They were happy." It doesn't need to be perfect. The act of speaking glues the listening into your memory. If you have a friend, practice together. If not, talk to yourself in the mirror. Yes, it feels funny, but it works. Reading is your quiet practice. Choose simple articles, short stories, or graded readers. Read out loud if possible, because then you practice both reading and speaking. When you see new words, don't just write them in a notebook and forget them. Try to use them in your own sentence. For example, if you read the word delicious, say, "This pizza is delicious." That way, the word becomes yours. Writing is often ignored by learners, but it is powerful. Writing forces you to slow down, to choose words carefully, to organize your thoughts. You don't need to write essays every day. Just write a short diary in English. Today I went to work. I was tired. I met my friend. We drank coffee. Simple sentences are fine. Later, you can write longer. Writing shows you what you know and what you don't. It is like a mirror for your English. Now, motivation. Many learners quit because they feel slow, they feel shy, they feel like it's impossible. Let me tell you this. No one learns a language in 1 week. It's a long road, but every day you walk, you are closer. Think of children again. They spend years listening before they speak perfectly. They make mistakes, but they keep going. You must do the same. Don't punish yourself for mistakes. Celebrate effort. Mistakes are proof that you are trying. Let me give you a success story. Listen carefully. Ahmed is from Egypt. He started learning English 3 years ago. At first, he could only say hello and thank you. He was shy and scared of speaking, but he decided to practice every day. He listened to English radio while cooking. He watched English movies on weekends. He wrote one sentence in his diary every night. He spoke to himself in the mirror. Slowly, his English grew. After 1 year, he could order food when traveling. After 2 years, he could give a presentation at work. After 3 years, he felt comfortable chatting with foreign colleagues. Ahmed is not a genius. He is normal, but he is consistent, and that is why he succeeded. What is the lesson? Consistency beats talent. If you do a little every day, you will win. Now, let's tie it all back to listening practice. Listening is the seed. If you plant it and water it every day, it grows into speaking, reading, and writing. But without listening, the tree is weak. So always keep listening as your first habit. Let's do one final long listening practice together like a final test. Don't panic, just listen for gist and details. Two friends, Julia and Robert, decided to start learning English together. They created a study plan. Every morning, they listened to English news for 10 minutes. After that, they talked to each other in English about the news. In the afternoon, they read a short story and underlined new words. In the evening, they wrote 3 sentences in their diaries. They repeated this routine every day for 6 months. At first, it was difficult. They felt slow, they forgot words, and sometimes they wanted to quit. But they encouraged each other to continue. After 6 months, they were surprised. They could understand much more, they could speak more smoothly, and they felt confident. Their secret was not big talent or expensive classes. Their secret was daily practice, balance, and patience. Questions: what did Julia and Robert do in the morning? Listen to English news and talk about it. What did they do in the afternoon? Read a short story. What did they do in the evening? Write 3 sentences in their diaries. How long did they continue? 6 months. What was their secret? Daily practice, balance, patience.
Exactly.
That is your roadmap too. So let me give you the final guideline in one clear picture. Listen every day, even for 10 minutes. Speak every day, even if only to yourself. Read every day, even a short paragraph. Write every day, even 1 sentence. Don't focus on being perfect. Focus on being consistent. Use shadowing, repetition, note-taking, and variety to make listening strong. Use speaking to activate your knowledge. Use reading to expand your vocabulary. Use writing to check your thoughts. And above all, enjoy the process. Smile when you hear a new word, laugh at your mistakes, and be proud of your progress. Now, before we finish, I want to give you one last small exercise. Close your eyes and imagine yourself 6 months from now. You are watching a movie in English. At the beginning, you are nervous, but then you realize you are following the story. You laugh at the jokes. You understand the characters. You feel proud. That future is possible. It is waiting for you, but only if you practice every day. So, my friends, this is the end of our 6-part journey, about 12,000 words of listening practice, advice, techniques, and motivation. I hope you feel stronger, clearer, and more confident. Remember, I am always here with you on English Lab. My name is Jenney, and I believe in you. Keep listening, keep speaking, keep reading, keep writing. Step by step, day by day, you will succeed.